guys, this is Skaya with another episode for you. Today, my guest is Peter of Death by Love. Say hello, Peter.
Yeah, hey, what's up, guys? Hi, Skaya. Good to meet you.
Don't sound too
I love
thrilled,
that
Peter.
you're so happy. You're so happy, man. I love this. I love the beginning of the interview when people become happy.
Always happy-ish, sort of, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, because yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh no, you're going to say something. Come on, no, no, no.
I
Enlighten
say
me.
usually before we go on air, we have conversations. So that's why I was saying that it started kind of on a gloomy note, but we ended up being all happy and, smiley. And I love this. I love, you know, connections and happiness. That's good,
I I
especially
appreciate.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Peter.
Thank you.
For those of you who don't know, there was a slight mix-up. I admit it to my own fault. Peter threatened to beat my ass, and kidding, of course.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Anyway, so we are here talking to Peter about his band Death by Love. If you haven't heard Death by Love, they are a eclectic mix of goth, darkwave, and trip hop, which I'm a big fan of trip hop. So with those three mixes, you're hitting every check on the box for me of a band I want to buy material from and see live.
Well, if I can expand on it a little bit,
Please, yes, please, please.
if you like climates like that condense or um, something a little bit more symphonic in nature, you will also find couple pieces like this on our record. So it's going to be very, very eclectic from really hard, heavy industrial through perfectly gothic songs and as you said, trip hop, but also we put a little bit of the Arabic flavor, Middle Eastern kind of feel, which I think fits pretty good with the BPMs we favor, which is like around 90, 80 beats per minute.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. I thought you told me you guys were going to do 180 BPMs from now on.
Well, also, let me go back to the discussion we had off air. What I said was the older you get, the slower music you prefer. And I believe lots of people will agree with me on this one.
I will agree with you. There comes a point in our age, because me and you are not too far off from the age that we are, that, like you said, the older we get, the less extreme we want to hear things in a sense of like speed and so forth. Like Dead Can Dance, you mentioned them. I
Yeah.
have every album by Dead Can Dance.
You
Um,
see, the cool thing about that condense factor here is that Inga wasn't born in Poland. She was born in Afghanistan. She grew up in like Persia area up there. So she inherited the way of singing. And this is very similar to what the feel of Dead Can Dance is like in a sense, except she likes to sing in some totally weird languages, kind of like Elizabeth Fraser, where she uh, develops and makes up her own language, which I love. It's so
that's
cool.
pretty. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's definitely unique.
yeah.
I'll say that's hard as hell to do too, probably for somebody.
Well, to me, when I listen to it, it's like, holy shit, I don't understand what she's singing about, but I know how she feels, and that is freaking cool. That is cool.
That is, and I admire
Yeah.
that. That's why you
I'm
guys definitely. No,
yeah, I'm pretty lucky to be working with Inga because really how it started was in 24 actually. I knew about Inga from watching her on Facebook. I mean, we are friends of a friends, and eventually we got friends on Facebook, and we follow each other. Blah blah blah. So I was seeing what she's doing in Poland. Well, she's a lead singer of the band Lorien, which is like one of the major gothic bands in Poland. She also performs with Non Electro, which is a electronica duo, but it's more kind of a, I would say, pop techno rather than dark kind of music. So what happened was that Non-Electro asked me to make a remix for a song of Non-Electro, and that's how me and Inga started actually work together. I did this really gloomy, kind of heavy Laibach, like, very heavy and, you know, dark remix, half tempo, of course,
Right.
you know. She loved it. So after my band here in Pittsburgh, Dichro, fell apart in the end of 24, I already had a project that I could commit myself to because we've already talked about doing something more. And that was an opportunity for me to devote more time to work with Inga. And since she has her own studio as well, we can just send files back and forth. And this is exactly as if we were working in the same studio. I'm talking real time, dude. This is so cool. Nowadays you can be talking like this, both of us in the studio, we send files, that's, I love it. I can coach her singing, just seeing the way she sings, and I can tell her, hey, try this, try that. That's unbelievable, I
It
love it.
is. It is. And
Yeah.
that's the good thing about it. Um, about technology is, say for instance, if me and you were doing something musically wise, you could send me files instantly and I could do whatever I do and send you files back and forth. And it kind of eliminates that whole hassle of having everybody there all at once because of conflict in schedules, family obligations, and so forth. So it technology is really amazing. And not to mention the way your
And
guys' music.
you can be Trent Reznor all you want.
I don't think I want to go that far.
Right.
I respect the man, but there's better. I'll get crucified for saying this. There's better artists out there.
Fair,
So
fair, very fair. Yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna get.
I had to mention him because we talk about industrial music, and if you want to admit it or not, he was the dude, that
He
brought it
catapulted it.
brought it brought it to
Yeah,
masses, you know that's pretty much it.
I would give him credit for bringing it forth, but I also would give credit to acts like Gary Newman,
Oh yeah,
Ultravox.
absolutely. No doubt,
Uh,
dude. But if you think about it, industrial music was never as popular
oh
as
yeah,
the top popularity of Nine Inch Nails in America. Industrial music has never been that popular ever, as
yeah,
since and then. Yeah,
yeah. He opened the floodgates for a lot of artists to come forth to America that were like extreme, like KMFDM.
right.
I mean, he opened the floodgates for a lot of it. Well, we have Ministry now. Ministry, are pretty up there
Well,
with
that
Nine Inch Nails.
But if not Nine Inch Nails, we would never heard of Ministry, honestly. Like masses.
Mhm.
Masses who would go to Lollapalooza, say. I mean, they would never be on Lollapalooza if not Nine Inch Nails.
I'll agree with you. All right, you pulled my arm. I agree. I agree.
It's just the war of genres. It's always the same.
Do you ever get tired of that when people try to pigeonhole your music? Do you ever get tired of that?
I don't, because you know what? I am eclectic in purpose. I like being eclectic. I like to try different things, and I'm not afraid to put them together. You know, some people try to or are stylistically solid. I will never say about myself that I'm stylistically solid. I can tell you that I have two, three, four tunes which are, 100% industrial, two tunes that are gothic, three tunes that are classic trip hop, and this is all the same band.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
So this is in purpose. Whether people gonna like it or not, I don't know. That's what me and Inga pretty much always wanted to do because both of us are. It's really cool because she's good in things that I am not good, and vice versa. So it's like a yin and yang, and we like complete kind of the circle, So that's pretty cool. I like
It
that
is.
situation. Yeah. Plus, I love working with women. Uh, I had women in my previous bands like forever for a good reason. They think differently than male musicians for some reason. I like their thinking better, I think. And the way their sensitivity to music is different, which could be, I don't want to sound like sexist, but I'm not a medical doctor, so I don't know, but maybe it's just a different type of the, you know, genetics or whatever. I don't know. I don't know, but I know for a fact that they hear music and perceive music and live the music in a different way than guys do.
I would strongly agree with that, actually.
Yeah.
It's a way that they convey emotion that sometimes we cannot convey that emotion vocally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. I've
that's
seen it.
just,
I've seen it. I experience it. I had it in the band, I know how it feels.
yeah.
So,
Um, that's like my wife singing a song. If I sing the same song she's singing, you're going to get a totally different vibe and emotion off of her than when I sing it. One, she's a better singer than me, but
yeah.
that's,
Yeah. You see, like when I started playing music in Poland and then the move to America, all my bands were I was the lead singer, and around time when Portishead was released, I'm talking 94,
mhm.
ninety
That's about,
six, something like
uh,
that.
I think it was 94. It was 94.
94, okay. So around that time, I decided, fuck this shit. Nobody wants to look at the dude who sings. I'm gonna fucking produce music and do really good music and find a female singer that sings freaking awesome and looks great. Because I mean, again, I don't want to be sexist, but unfortunately, that's what's happening. That people like to look at pretty people. You know,
I
I'm
agree.
sorry. I'm sorry, but they prefer to look at pretty people. Okay, kill me.
Uh,
So that's why I said, by the end of this interview, you might be like, I'm not going there. I'm gonna do a little edit.
to be honest with you, I don't believe in editing. I think everything that I should put out there should be the way it is. I don't
Mhm.
like any of that stuff. I need people to see the real conversations
Do
and
you think? Do,
understand.
do you think, in your personal opinion, it was sexist what I said?
No, no,
Be honest. Be honest.
no, that's not sexist. No,
Okay. All right. Okay.
no. I prefer female vocalists over male vocalists 90% of the time. It's not sexist. Now, it would be sexist if you said men could convey the message more than a woman could. That would be sexist in a sense to me.
Well, I would say that women can convey message more than That's why I work with women. Okay. Another reason, the funny reason I'll tell you, as a producer and mixing engineer, it's much easier to put female vocals in the mix than a guy's vocals in the mix to sound good with everything. I always prefer having female to work with because the range and the tone and everything.
That's, yeah, I could see that. I have
Yeah.
never worked with a female vocalist, but I have thought about it several times. One, I'm tired of singing. kind of like you had your experience. I'm tired of singing all the freaking time,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
nobody wants to look at me on stage.
yeah,
A
yeah.
fat, bald,
Exactly,
bearded.
dude.
Yeah, nobody wants
Exactly
to
the
see
same
me.
reason, you know? Exactly. That's why I like to be behind either playing bass or keyboards or something, you know? I don't care, you know? I'm not here to be seen. Here is Inga, you know? She can present herself 100%, you know? She knows what she's doing. She's a pro, you know? That's not her first rodeo. She's been on stage since she was like 10, you know? So,
Nice, nice.
yeah.
So, when did you start getting into music? Like, what was your key?
Um,
Was there a
I would,
certain band that triggered you?
yes, absolutely. It was definitely late 80s, and it was the music that was popular in Poland at that time. Mostly it was new wave bands, bands you've never heard of. Uh, However, most of those bands try to sound like American bands or British bands. So there were lots of, you know, like the police type sounding bands or uh, um, say uh, uh, Talking Heads, Polish equivalent of Talking Heads, you know, and you can go on. So that lasted, you know, early early sorry late 80s, and that's where when uh, American and British bands started to come to Poland for touring. The very first band I have ever seen, like a Western band in Poland, was British metal band UFO. I don't know if you're familiar with the band
Oh
UFO.
yeah, very
Yeah,
familiar.
so that was the very first band. Second band, are you ready?
I'm
Was
ready.
German Kraftwerk.
Yes,
Dude,
yes.
I freaked out. I was like little kid. I'm like, what the hell is this? You know? So then through early 90s, I started my first bands, playing a band, couple festivals, this and that. And and on the way I heard Nine Inch Nails. I have to come back to Nine Inch Nails because this band actually opened, actually not Ben, but Resner, he opened the way how to create music. He kind of helped me understand that you don't need the band to compose the whole piece. You can just do it all by yourself. And that idea was very appealing to me. I love the fact that I can create the whole freaking piece and sing it on top of it. So, so yeah, that was a big, you know, kick in the ass moment. Another was when I heard Portishead, when I decided, okay, I don't want to be a singer anymore. It has to be a female singer. So that was a big moment. I grew up really on the Beatles. My very, very, very first band that I listened to was the Beatles. And
Really?
I've listened to the Beatles for a long, long time. And then I watched Hunger and I saw Bauhaus. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
so cool. Oh my God. You know, so that's when I started my first Polish goth band after seeing that movie.
Oh yeah. For
And
me, no. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
believe me, it was pretty hard to come by to get like black hair dye, for instance, in Poland. You know, you had to have black hair dye, right? You had a big
Oh yeah.
fucking Robert Smith hair and shit. You know, to be black. You know, black leather jacket. Where are you gonna get black leather jacket in Poland, in communist Poland? Well, somehow we found them. You know. How do you how do you get a cool freaking spiky shoes like the golf guys wear? Well, you brought them from Amsterdam. A friend of yours brought it from Amsterdam, you know.
Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
It's the same. It was the same way here in
So
the
we were,
South.
so dude, in a great post-communist Poland, we looked like freaking freaks, dressed like that. That was great. We had our own little piece of westernized kind of way of living in post-communist Poland. This way, being musicians and having certain image. Of course, we had to avoid skinheads because they didn't like us, and we had skinheads in Poland. There was a huge punk rock community also, and even Rastafarian community, believe it or not. There were plenty of Polish reggae bands. I'm talking 80s and 90s, bro. I mean, it was unreal. They love reggae music in Poland.
Nice. I would imagine so because the skinhead movement when it started in Britain and how, the original skinheads were into reggae and all that, and it just kind of spread and took everything over. And then next thing you know, you get the neo-Nazis mixed in and it just kind
I
of all
I
fell
I
apart.
I think that Polish skinheads or Polish neo-Nazis never came from the reggae perspective like in England. They'd rather came from oi scene, the
Yeah.
hard punk fucking scene, and then developed their ideology after that. I don't think they ever had anything to do with Polish Rastafarians. Not at all.
Okay.
These are freaking weed smoking hippies with dreadlocks, bro. I mean, like regular Rastafarians, they no difference.
No joke. Rastafarians will make you some of the best vegetarian food out in the
Yeah,
world.
they know how to eat. They know how to eat, and they're skinny. Their diet is pretty awesome actually. If you follow their diet,
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree. Well, tell us a little bit about the future of Death by Love. So I know you said you guys are
Um,
working on an album.
yes, it's finished. It's going to be mastered in September. October we hope to release it, and in November I'm flying to Poland to do probably three shows at this point with Dead by Law. However, the guitar player and drummer is gonna be borrowed from Poland. So these are two of my friends who used to play with my old band. I
Oh,
invited
okay.
them to play with us because normally if Inga would be flying to the States, she'd be playing with the band, my band here with a guitar player and a drummer here. So this way, it cuts on our costs, and we can accomplish pretty much promotion there and here, because Inga's going to be coming to the States as well to do some promos, some videos, some recordings, some photo sessions.
Okay. Okay.
So
And
when she comes here for about, I think she's going to be here for 8 days in Pittsburgh. We plan on doing all the filming for the hologram. So that's going to take probably 2 days because we have to film her singing to all the songs, and it all has to be perfect. Then we are shooting a big production, which we are doing in a Heinz factory, old Heinz factory where they used to make ketchup. Now it's a big, empty freaking space. So this is going to be like 100% industrial looking video, all dark with searchlights, with drones flying. There's going to be like flashlight mounted on drones. So it's going to all look cool because it's going to be all fog
nice.
and stuff. And band is going to be playing out there. So that's pretty much the idea of the main shot for the video where we want to show the band.
Nice.
Yeah.
Uh, Now you mentioned the hologram. Go ahead and elaborate on that some because I know a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
people would not be
Well,
used to that.
we, yes. Thank you for reminding me. Um, what it is, we had an idea because Inga, obviously, who lives in Poland, cannot be with us every time we would like to play here in the States. So she graciously agreed to be a hologram. And she said, it's totally cool if you guys make a hologram of me and put it in front of the audience while you perform. And because Death by Love is based on pretty much electronics, so it means drummer plays with a click track, there's a track, and the rest of musicians play with a click and a track. So we also synchronize video to the music. So everything is like super synchronized, and we can put Inga as source for video for the holographic projector, which is, I don't know if you guys saw those new holographic projectors. It's a set of propellers mounted on a vertical pole. So there would be like three propellers spinning at, I don't know, 500,000 revolutions per minute, and each of the wings of the propeller has LEDs, and those LEDs somehow are programmed to project an image that comes fed through an HDMI signal. So in this way, she's going to be like Obi-Wan Kenobi, pretty much. If I film her on green screen, it means that I can take away the background, so she can fly anywhere. You know. So yeah, we're gonna put a real microphone in front of this freaking hologram, and she's gonna be there singing.
Nice, nice. That is
Yeah.
definitely something I've never seen
Yeah,
before.
it's a little bit gimmick. People might not like it. I don't know, but I'm willing to experiment because I'm this kind of a freaking dude.
Well, in my honest opinion, if people don't get it, who cares?
No,
That
but think about this. How about this? We do a show, and see, nobody knows that she actually came over, and she comes in after the first song in a real person, you know.
nice. That would be a
Yeah, it's
surprise.
like,
I like that. I like that.
so yeah, yeah.
Well, you're definitely ahead of your time. I don't. The only band I know that uses holograms, I think, would be Gorillas. I've heard they do that live, and I heard that Kiss was going to start doing that, and I was like, I really wouldn't
This is
care.
this is this is big production. You're talking here about hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm talking about 5 grand, bro.
Wow.
Now those projectors got so, I mean, I don't need a big projector. I need a projector that pretty much covers the silhouette of a person in a real, form. So that's all I need, which those three propellers will give you because they kind of overlap. Okay. So yeah, um, this stuff is now very, very accessible and cheap, and you can pretty much set it up and fake having a singer in front of you.
So, are when do you guys plan to tour the U.S. some?
um, we don't have plans now. It's all gonna follow the release. So we'll see what is the response to the release, how it's gonna go. If we can get positive response, then we're gonna think about touring.
Okay.
Not earlier. I mean, I've been there before, so I don't have like false hopes. I just know how this business works, and
Yeah.
I like to plan things, and this is one of those things that you have to pre-plan. Don't
Yeah.
make decisions, up front. You have to come up with the decisions after you have some data to work with.
Right. Right. Because for those of you out there who are not a musician, touring is not cheap.
Mm-mm,
You're
mm-mm.
lucky if you can make at least 5% of what you've put out there.
Yeah, for bands like ours, or even bands who tour all the time but are like regional bands, it's still hard life, very hard life if you commit to it and you expect to make living out of it. It's super hard life right now.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would
And it
agree.
just gotten worse just
We won't
recently.
we won't talk about that, ladies and gentlemen, but if you know, you know.
Right,
And we'll
right,
just leave
right,
it there.
right.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to say to our audience?
Well, I'm very much I very much appreciate the opportunity to talk with you and give you guys the little scoop about my band Death by Love. We are at deathbyloveband.com. That's our main website. And you can find our videos and music on YouTube and Spotify and Bandcamp and the regular things. And just you gotta look for us because apparently there's another Death by Love. I didn't know, but yeah, we are the goth industrial Death by Love.
I'll make sure that all your links will be in the video notes below too, so everybody can
I,
go
I
and
I appreciate it.
get your merch, watch your videos,
Right
and so
on.
forth. I want to make sure you get the attention you deserve because folks out there,
Thank you.
please support Death by Love. I'm telling you, you will not hear another band like this that meshes these genres together in a fluid style with an amazing female vocalist. So if you don't like them, then I'll just come and hit you in the head with a tack hammer. That's fine by me. I have no qualms with that. All
I
right.
have
Well,
no comments.
Peter's not allowed to talk. His financial, or not financial, his legal supervisor told him not to say anything. Mine gave up on
Exactly.
me. Well, thank you so much, Peter. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very, very much, and hope to talk to you soon.
And everybody, thank you. Please like and subscribe, share it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.